7 countries, 7 days. Senator John McCain just got back from a trip to Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and other countries in the Middle East. Now you get the inside story. Senator wasn't exactly sitting on the beach of the French Riviera. 7 days, 7 countries. Pakistan, I want to talk about that first. What's going on in Pakistan?
Before I mention that, could I just make myself clear? I know we Republicans are willing to sit down at any time with the President and the Democrats and start all over and get this health care reform done, because we need health care reform. We just don't need it done this way. Pakistan is doing much better. The President of Pakistan is on shaky ground because of the loss of immunity that has been enacted by the Parliament. The Prime Minister is I think, also very pro-American. I think that there's no doubt that Kayani, who is the head of the Pakistani Army, has got a good relationship with our military leaders, Admiral Mullen and General Petraeus. The Pakistani Army is doing much better, and they are sustaining significant casualties. They are in South Waziristan and doing well there. They're planning on going into areas that have never been controlled by any government. And so I'm pleased with the progress militarily that's been made, but it's also going to be a very long, tough slog here, and we have to prepare for that.
Boy, that was not the impression I got when I was in Pakistan. I wasn't there a long time, but when I was there, it was checkpoint after checkpoint. The Pakistani people were saying very nasty things about the Americans. The editorials were anti-American. They were mad because we gave them $7.5 billion, but we wanted to know what they were doing to spend the money on, which seemed enormously unusual to me, almost to the point of being ingrates. And now President Zardari, he says he doesn't want the U.S. to send the drones into his country and to stop it because it's alienating his people against him. So maybe you were there more recently and got more access, but boy, I had a different impression of that country.
Well, let me say, Greta, you make some legitimate points. There is strong anti-American sentiment in Pakistan. There are difficulties in the government, but I would remind you that as short a time ago as a year ago, people thought that Pakistan, the whole government, would collapse. It has not. Their military has been performing better. This drone issue is a tough issue, but as I've said publicly, it is an important tool. It has disrupted al-Qaeda. It has significant beneficial effects, and at the same time, the Pakistani government has to condemn it, and it's a very delicate balance that's going on there. But yes, there are difficulties in Pakistan, particularly with public opinion, but militarily they've been doing better, and their government is far more stable than it was a short time ago. But look, the Pakistanis are also nervous, as the Afghans are, about the fact, as are other countries in the region, about the President's declaration that we would be leaving the middle of 2011. That and the buildup of the Afghan army being sufficient to take over responsibilities from us eventually are the two big problems that I saw on my visit.
All right, now we went to Afghanistan, and the Soviet Union years ago, they left, they gave up, and they went home. What are we doing differently to fight this war? What makes it so much different at this point that we're staying there? What are we doing?
Well, the Soviet Union wanted to annex Afghanistan. Their brutality was unspeakable. They literally slaughtered thousands and thousands of innocent Afghans. We visited in Kandahar with a province chief who was one of the leaders who fought against the Russians. He talked about how bloody they were and cruel, and he was a very interesting man. If we sent you a picture of him, I hope maybe we could get it on the screen. But it's very different. The Russians wanted part of Afghanistan to be part of
what are we doing militarily differently? What are we doing militarily different that gives us thought that we're going to win?
We are working with and fighting with the Afghan soldiers. This operating base I went to outside of Kandahar, there was Afghan and American soldiers working, living, and fighting together, the same way that Americans and Iraqis did together. The Afghans do not want the Taliban back. They don't want that kind of cruelty inflicted on their country again. Yes, there's corruptions. Yes, there needs to be better police training. Yes, there needs to be a much larger army. But the Afghan people do not want the Taliban back. They do want the United States to help them make sure that they don't come back. And what they have to have is a secure environment so that the economic, political, and other aspects of Afghan life can continue.
I can't let you go without asking you about the award that you got, the award in Georgia. We tell the viewers about this because it's a big deal over there. This is a big award.
Well, I was very touched and honored and humbled by the fact that the Georgian government gave me an award that's never been given to anyone that's not Georgian. There was a young woman who sang the Star-Spangled Banner. The whole thing was a very touching ceremony, and the Georgian people love America. If you're looking for a place where the people really appreciate the United States of America, go to the little Republic of Georgia. Got a wonderful president.
And indeed.